Welcome to A Woman in Nuclear podcast, the podcast that dives deep into the dynamic world of women in the nuclear industry. Join us as we explore the challenges, triumphs, and unique perspectives of women shaping the future of nuclear energy. Stay tuned and enjoy. Hello, welcome to this episode of A Woman in Nuclear podcast. With us here, we have someone all the way from Egypt with so much achievement to her name. You can't wait to hear all of that. She's here with us to share her own story, to share her motivation, her struggles, and how successfully she have achieved so much to her name. We are here together with Nancy. Hello, Nancy. It's a pleasure to have you on this podcast.
Hi, it's really a pleasure to participate and to meet you virtually. And it's very nice. The idea of the podcast is very nice. And once I've known about it, I was very happy to participate. So thanks for actually having me today.
Thank you for making yourself available. So let's meet you, Nancy. Let our listeners meet you. Give us all the juice that we need.
So maybe I will just a little bit introduction about myself. I started studying physics in the university. And honestly speaking, I was not sure whether I'm passionate about studying physics or not. At that stage, when you just graduate from high school, I was the student who do not know where to go exactly, which faculty, which school we want to get in. And I just was studying because I like studying, but I don't know which way, like which place, which faculty I want to settle in. And here, if I may say, comes my father role. So he told me that, okay, Nancy, you know what? You love mathematics, you love physics, and you love chemistry. So why not enter the School of Science? And I said, okay, let's try it. And then once I've been there, I started to grow my passion for physics. I graduated from special physics, or we call it theoretical physics, and with my bachelor's degree. And then I started to feel that maybe I need more application into it. So I have done my master's degree into material science in the field of crystallography. So crystal structure and how it's related to properties. And that was in Egypt, in one of very well-known university in Egypt. And then I felt that I want to get more exposure. I want to get more, to know more, not in science, but just not science, but in different. I want to get to know different cultures and to see different people. And here also come my mentor, my supervisor during my master's degree. She was a very nice lady, and she told me, you know what, I want you to travel to do your PhD, not because you cannot do it in Egypt, but because you will learn more, not only science, but in all different aspects. And until now, actually, I have to say, being abroad is totally very maybe I say mind changing. And it's very nice. I still recommend it for everyone to do it because you will see, you will know people, you will see, you will know more about the culture, you'll know more about the country, you'll know also science and in from different perspectives. So I got the opportunity to got a scholarship from University of New South Wales, which it's in Australia. It's one of the very top universities, and it's one of the top 20 university over the world. So I was actually I'm very happy to get the scholarship there, and that's when I start my journey. A little bit going closer to nuclear path. So I start studying again materials, but materials with different taste and materials used for batteries, but also it's found on like in Earth, and it's found in meteorites as well. So and part of the samples I studied was meteorites, and that's where I studied the materials using one of the nuclear techniques. We call it Mossbauer spectroscopy because we have used we study the materials using gamma radiation that comes from cobalt, radioactive cobalt, and then that was also the first exposure, like with nuclear, if I may say, not in the known sense of exposure. So and then I also I got my first time to enter a reactor ever, and that's where I've done my experiments in Sydney, in ANIS2, in the reactor in Sydney, where I spent a few days in the reactor because we have been granted some beam time, and it was very nice experience during the time. We have to do some, of course, induction and to do some pre-process before entering the reactor. But during that time, I was very, very excited, and somehow I know that I really I have to like this experience. I didn't know that time, but yes, it was very nice time for me. Actually, I have to say, it's not an easy task because in the morning we just get up in the morning, we go to the reactor, we spend the whole day until night, and then return back. So it's nearly we spend a lot of time in the reactor, but it's very nice experience. It's that's where I see I've been I've been living there nearly for, for these few days, and I returned back with a huge amount of data, and I was very happy. Yes, and then after finishing my PhD, I've been granted a PhD. During that time, I got also a very nice position. I've applied for in Europe, and that position was in European Spallation Source in one of the projects about one of the beam lines in the spallation source, which is actually another technique to get so neutrons can be like we can get neutrons either through the old traditional way through the reactor or through the accelerator way, which is the spallation source. So Europe was building during the time a spallation source. That was during 2017. So it was building the infrastructure, like the building of the European spallation source, and we were working in the diffraction beam line. And also that was a very nice experience because again I got it was not just a few days spending in the reactor. I was also all the time working in the reactor. So then I again took like my path again went to nuclear more, and I during the time I got the opportunity because it's European project. So most of the European countries are participating in that project. So I had to collaborate with different places in Europe, with BSI in Switzerland and Billigen, the reactor, the spallation source of one, and Heimatwasserzentrum of Berlin in Germany, and with other countries like technical university in Denmark. The Europeans, the spallation source itself, it was found in Lund in Sweden. But during that time, I didn't go there because it was still it was building in the process of building it. But because of that, we had to do our experiments in Japan, in J-Park, the acceleration source in J-Park. So and of course we were also mainly found in Czech Republic and Prague as well. So yeah, it was a very nice experience going to all these places and get it. Yeah.
That's interesting story. I must note. And to see how much exposure nuclear has given you. Even I assume you weren't expecting so much when you began the journey, but today you have you have a whole lot of it in your pocket. It's good to know
Yeah.
that nuclear affords such an exposure, such and so much of such exposure. So you in the course of your story, you mentioned something that I always root for, and that is mentorship. You said your
Yes.
mentor, she said, look, you should go to another country for your PhD, not because you can't get it in Egypt, but because you will be exposed to other culture and other ways of doing what you have always known how to do. And now see how much that little advice, seemingly little advice, has springed into a whole lot of networks, connections, and exposure as it is. So, what do you hold? What do you have to say? What do you think about mentorship, and how important do you think it is in one's life and in one's career?
It's very, very important, especially in the early career, because people will not like early in their career path, they do not really know where to go, and they don't have enough experience to decide even. So having another view, it's not obligatory, but it just may open your eye on different choices you can make. So, and if I may say, I was extremely lucky about
Yeah.
having mentors during my nearly every step in my life. In the early stages, it was my family, my father, my mother, and my brothers. And then I after that time, I it was my master's supervisor. She was brilliant. She was like a mother to me, and she was very kind, and I've learned from her a lot actually on the like just on everyday lifestyle basis. And I also I had an experience like another supervisor. He was not supervising me, but he was very generous. He was willing to help, and he definitely helped me in different ways. So also that was all, even though it's also I've learned just to give without waiting. There's no need to wait for a call. Just give because it will get you like it will get back to you in a way or another. And just it's a way to help the community and to help if you can. Why not? So I've learned that from him, and then I got. I was very, very grateful for my PhD supervisor and the postdoctor in our lab. So the PhD supervisor, he was talented in knowing how like the our my strengths and worked on enhancing it. I didn't know that during this time.
Wow.
I was, as every PhD student, sometimes I was feeling like that's too much for her to do. But honestly speaking, I just after finishing my PhD, I felt no, he was just putting me on the right track. So he was he know that, for example, I had some skills that that's good, but just need enhancing, and he worked on it. And meanwhile, I also had the postdoctor, Raiden. Raiden was very kind as well, and because of the he was close, like closer to me, I felt that sometimes I just felt that okay, you know what, I want to be like I want to be like Sean, my PhD supervisor. So I want to be like he was my role model. I want to know that and that and that. And I don't know it at that time. So he tells me, you will. Just wait. You're just started.
Yeah.
So he was, he was also encouraging me. And I felt just once when the postdoctor got another job. I had the responsibility of the lab, and I was the one also working in the lab. And again, the lab is having radioactive stores and have machines with huge amounts of dollars. So the point is like I felt that they really know about me things I don't know about myself.
I think that's
So
what
it's very, very
mentorship.
important. Yes,
That's
yes,
what
yes.
mentorship
They are
does.
very.
It sees beyond what you can see and help you discover more about yourself. And I'm so glad for
Exactly.
you that you enjoyed all of that to the maximum of it. So something else I loved about your story is the fact where you had your family behind you. Your father was able to say, look, I see you, you like mathematics, you like physics, you like chemistry. Your parents were able to provide enough guidance that kickstarts what we have today. So it seems like you don't have the challenge of family, as the case may be.
Yes, I always prefer. I had my father, and he was the one. When I told him I want to travel to do my PhD, he told me, "Yes, do.
Oh,
You will. Yes," and he was very encouraging. Father was indeed. He was very supportive in actually not in just studying physics, but in different ways.
mm.
So um, I had a very nice chat one day with one of my colleagues. And he told me, you know what, traveling is very hard for a girl to travel. And you know, because it's not easy. It's not like it's not usual for girl to do all this traveling by herself. And most of the by the way, most of the places where there is a reactor installation source, it's kind of a little bit isolated. So people just think that's quite hard. And then I told him, you know what? It's just the ideas that you keep putting in girls' mind. So it's no, it's not hard. And if it is hard, it's hard for both, for boys and for girls. So yes, maybe traveling is not easy, and I may agree with that. But it's hard for everyone, and it depends on the personnel to just whether he or she can adapt or not. And I told him actually, you know what? Maybe we have more fit, like we have more advantage than boys because we can do everything by ourselves. We can cook. We can do everything.
We can
So
literally
they
survive on
cannot.
our own.
Yes, it's definitely easier for us.
So
Yeah, but honestly speaking, it's definitely I have seen that. It's people just keep saying um, ideas into people, like keep pouring ideas into people's minds, and after some time you just think about it as a fact. So it's hard, and no, it's not hard. It is hard for everyone if it is. Just break that kind of unseen boundaries inside yourself.
very well, when a lie is being told frequently, it begins to sound like the truth. So we've
Yes.
been always told that we can't do it, you can be more. When women started going beyond these imaginative barriers that have been set by this society, we see that we can achieve as much as every other person. We can achieve as
Yeah.
much as the male colleague in the office. And it's
Yes.
interesting to see that you are achieving as much as every male colleague who is achieving. Let's talk about when you went to do your PhD. You entered into the reactor, and that was like a changing moment for you. So tell us about this moment when it all turned around and there was a spring of love for nuclear.
Yes. I was very excited before because as like again, most of the reactors and spallation sources are found a little bit kind of isolated in isolated places or a little bit far place. So although the reactor in Australia is found in Sydney, but I felt that I'm a bit anxious and also I want to do my experiments. So I was excited about my experiments and I want to see, and I was a bit afraid because I wasn't afraid because of the exposure, because I've been already working with gamma radiation. But I was just how the reactor would be. And, it's always also, there is always rumors about, like, the reactor is like, it's like a place where you will go there and there is definitely something bad happening.
Definitely,
So
so
I
much
felt that,
misinformation.
yes, I always felt that, I was kind of having mixed feelings between very excited about my experiment, I want to do it, and very excited to see that place. And also, even, like, just anxious. So when I went there, I felt actually the emotion that was taking place every once I've been there. Oh, and that's, I have to say also that, my PhD supervisor has a very important role during that time.
Yeah.
Because he was with me there, and he told me, you know what, he was there before me, so he told me, like, okay, you go there, you spend the night, and we will meet in the morning, and we will do that. So I felt, okay, maybe it's just a regular day, just as any other day. So so I felt okay, and I went with him, and everything looks as usual. I'm just happy to be in the reactor, and I feel excited. Of course, I've taken the radio, like the
Dosimeter.
detector. Yes, the dosimeter, the detector, to be with me all the time. But rather than that, nothing unusual happened. So, and I've met the instrument scientist, and we started putting the samples into everything. Everything looks easy. Everything looks usual. So, that was the first time I felt, wow. And then again, my supervisor role played, because just after that first day, he left. So I said to him, you will leave me here by myself. I'm just a PhD student. And he said, you know what, I have work to do, and I need to be in the main campus in the university, and everything is here. You have the instrument scientist, you have, everything is there. So I said, oh, okay. Again, I felt I felt happy, because I felt he trusts me that much. And again, it's my sample, it's my PhD. So that's totally my responsibility. So he was, as I said, he was very supportive in different ways. And that was my first exposure to neutrons. And then I liked it.
Okay, so since that first exposure, how has it been? You've kept pursuing the neutrons, or you took a break
Yes.
from it?
Yes. Whenever after that, whenever I've been, so just after this time, whenever I've been to any reactor, I felt like, oh, okay, it's just rumors. Again, it's kind of misconception about reactors. And for to maybe one of again, being in reactor spallation source is very, very safe. It's even safer than outside. Yes, it's people just think, because you have, like, there are many ways of protection, and
Yes.
so outside we are already facing different kind of radiation, by the way, and we're not protected. So in the reactors, you are definitely protected, and there are different warning procedure, and it's very safe place. It's totally not as people think about it. And again, when I've been to J Park in Japan, because we have been there for, like, we usually do our experiments for huge amount of time, like 2 weeks or even more. So I was sleeping there. I was literally sleeping there. So in the J Park, and it was one of the sources which have a very high flux neutrons. So it's one of the highest flux in over the world, actually. And that's why when we and the Japanese, when we get into the spallation source, we have to pass through a certain protection methods, and, like, again, kind of screening to make sure that we are safe to get in and to get out. And but still we were in the building and we will not go back. There is definitely misconception about it. And being in a reactor, they just feel the people, whenever you say nuclear, they feel like, ooh,
Oh, interesting. So let's talk about the challenges you have to deal with and how you overcame them, be it cultural, be it institutional, whatever form of barriers. I know it wasn't so easy for you. It wasn't actually a piece of cake. You have done a lot of work to be where you are today. So tell us what were these barriers you had to take care of to achieve what you have today?
So I may say that challenges is part of the journey, and how to deal with challenges is again a way that I wasn't. I wouldn't be what I have today, what I am today, unless I've just passed with all of these experiences, including the challenges and how I dealt with these challenges. So first, traveling by myself, it wasn't, if I may say, it wasn't easy. So no, it wasn't. And not because we cannot, but because you are just in your family, you are kind of pampered. You know that you have your parents around you, you have your brothers and sisters around you, you have your family. Just you have kind of support. So when you just travel, you start to feel that you are traveling like you are supposed to face all of these challenges by yourself. You don't have that kind of support. But again, families, they will give you at least kind of spirit, like kind of support through. I was actually all the time I was talking to them through the phone, and I was sharing my life with them, so I don't feel isolated. Because again, it's very hard to go through that just by self. No one can do it. It's always, even now, everyone is life is a journey. You need people with it. You don't do everything by yourself unless you have a very close circle with you that can support you in different ways. Uh, Support just by your friends, for example. You have friends to enjoy the time. So it's not only work, it's not only studying. You have to do. And for example, during my PhD, I had to say that my last year was more. I was happy more in the last year than the first 2 years, because I have known more people, and I have expanded my knowledge to the people. I expanded my circle of people. So I was not only studying, and again, it's everything is just inside ourselves. Everything is inside our minds. So what's the problem in just enjoying the life while studying? I was going to, like, most of the time, every Sunday I went to swim. So I've been going, like, I've been visiting my friends during Friday night, and sometimes Saturday, and sometimes I spend the night with them to see a movie night or something. So it's just just try to enjoy the ride, to enjoy whatever you have, and stop worrying. And I know it's easier said than done, because I am saying that, because even, like, I'm saying that, but still sometimes I don't do it. Because I have been doing it during my PhD, yes, but sometimes now I feel that I'm overwhelmed with work, and the work need to be done. I have research papers need to be finished. I have my work. I have my lectures in the university. So you have too much things to do, and you don't have the time to do it. But again, remember that you are investing in yourself. You want to do everything in a good way, so you need to yourself be good for. So just enjoy the ride as much as possible. Try to get out from the hectic circle that getting up in the morning, going to work, and getting back sleep, and and then keep doing the same cycle. Just break the cycle at certain points and enjoy it. So the challenges are too many, but it's how you deal with the challenges is the key point. And I may say that your key for the journey is the people with you, is your support, is your friends and your family, is definitely yourself. You will not be able to do anything if all these people are there, but you don't want to enjoy. You don't want to engage with people. You don't want to. Sometimes people just go abroad and do their studies and get back without that much, except maybe the degree or something.
Yeah.
But some people, no, some people just get the degree, they get friends, they get to know more and more. So don't confine yourself with ideas about no, I cannot do, or no, I cannot. I'm just coming here to study. Yes, you are coming here to study, but you are coming here to enjoy. That's 3 or 4 years of your life. You have to enjoy it as much as possible. And maybe I have to give the credit for that as well. Again, I was also lucky studying in Australia, because Australia is very important country, or maybe one of the countries that try to do the balance between the work life and the social life. And because I've been traveling to different places, sometimes you just get swept in the cycle, in the work cycle, and you forget about how to enjoy. In Australia, I felt no, they really keep reminding you about that work is not it's not all life. And that's one of the biggest advantages in being in Australia.
You've made
So
Australia sound interesting. It sounds like a very
it
good
is.
place to be.
It is. I have to
That's
say
nice.
it's a very nice country.
All right. So you're writing research papers, you are teaching, that is to show that you are active on the field. So are there specific nuclear innovations you are looking forward to? You've been in the reactor, you've seen reactor operations. So are there specific things you're looking forward to that you could do to advance either the safety or the security or the operations of the nuclear reactors?
Currently, I'm working in a different like today. I have just one paper was published, accepted for publication, and it's also we are working on sometimes detectors materials. So, but not gamma. It was beta radiation. So, so yes, we are working sometimes again with. I'm just the linkage between nuclear and materials. So I'm working with materials, but with a nuclear taste, and nuclear with materials taste. So that's how I like it.
Yeah, that's still very interesting because, of course, what is nuclear without the nuclear materials? What's nuclear without the radioactive materials, the shielding materials, the containment materials, the detectors, of course, which are as
Yeah.
necessary as the reactors themselves. So there's a very nice intersection between nuclear and material science. The nuclear field is quite wide, and it's like an octopus. It has a whole lot of arms that could fit into every other field,
Yes.
be it law,
Yeah.
be it procurement and supply chain, be it international security, be it chemistry, be it agriculture. So this is how fascinating the nuclear field is. I think that's what I love most about the nuclear industry. The fact that
Yes. Yes.
your background is not a deterrent to you being effective and being a contributor to the growth and advancement of the industry. So thank you so much. It was so nice to have you. So
Thank
much
you.
you have shared with us. I really
Thanks.
appreciate your openness and the willingness to share your story and inspire more people, inspire especially more women. I also appreciate your tenacity to keep growing to where you have gotten to. I'm telling you, it is not easy. I know very well it is not easy. Yeah, no, like you said, it's easier said than done. So I know that
Yes.
the story is just the surface of what it actually was. You've been through a lot to get here. I know. You don't have to tell me. I very well know, and I am so happy to meet someone who has this
But
so much achievement. Yeah.
it's always just remember, so whenever there is an obstacle in the way, just remember that you have passed with another one in the past, and you were happy at the end. So there is always obstacles, there is always challenges, but we always just pass them and we get through them. And that's why I'm saying that it's just enjoying. It's and also it's about perspective. It's about how you see things. It's just keep exploring and do not let anything just pull you back. I know that all of us just pass by that time that we just want to sit and do nothing and just leave everything outside, and I still do that. And I just sit and eat popcorn and watch movies. And but again, that's kind of just a very that's time needed, by the way. That's you need that time to say that okay, I'm taking that time off and I will do the restart once again. So just don't be hard on yourself, because I have to say that women tend to to be hard on themselves. So us. So it's just like we keep blaming ourselves too much. So no, stop that cycle. And don't let anyone think or even push you toward that you are not doing it and you, for example, people who are okay, you know what? If you were not married, then you would be able doing stuff abroad. And if you are because you are working, you are not taking care of your babies and your home. It's always something just blame the women. No, stop. It's stop that, because it's not healthy, and again, it's just something in our minds. So there is nothing called perfectionism, and we are not supposed to be perfect. So we are doing what we can with the time we can and with the time we have actually at the moment. So it's just that's what we can do. So stop that blaming because we
Thank
really
you
tend to
so
do it so
much.
much.
You just said some really amazing things, and I don't know how, but I am really glad I get to hear you firsthand say this.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
because truly we also blame ourselves. Aside the
Yes.
society blaming us, we also join the society to blame ourselves, and
Yeah,
it seems to be like a
and we
primary
believe them.
barrier, because I am here thinking, don't do this because if I do this, it won't. A whole lot of things. I get to
Yes.
work twice as hard as the male colleague
Ah,
to receive the same amount of
recognition.
appreciation.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
And because people, like I had actually a very nice book written that it says that everything is made on a main word, like
yeah,
the mobile phone size, the seat belt, the car seat belt, everything
yeah.
is like that. And I don't want to get into the idea that um, I I will not do too much effort. I'm actually doing a lot of effort, but because I can do it. but at least I will not blame myself for not doing more because, hello, I'm just doing what I can. So,
Exactly.
yes. So and I found that most of my girls, female friends, that's very noticeable in us that we tend just to blame ourselves and join the people to blame ourselves and believe in it. So, no,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I am so happy to have you. I'm so happy to hear from you. I'm so happy to be the one to host this. It's a big privilege for me, and I am very
thank you.
much
I'm the one.
thankful for it. So
It's the honor is all mine. I thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Woman in Nuclear podcast. We hope you are inspired. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials at A Woman in Nuclear. Catch you on the next episode.